Again. Can you believe it? It's dark. I started at 9:30 this morning doing my first live, and now we're at 6, and we're with Elspeth Feldman of the Speedy Vegan, and Max is very excited. Here, come here.
Hey.
He's like, what's going on? Why are the people happening? He's like, I don't let him get on the counter. We spent years getting him to not put his feet on the counter because he's like, what's going on? So I hope you guys have been having an amazing day. I hope the weather's been amazing, and I will mute eventually if Max can whine this long for hours and hours. Lucky me. So Elspeth, awesome. Rill is back. Good evening from Milwaukee. It is lovely to have you here. And Lydia is here. Lots of people are coming back. Awesome. So I'm just going to mention, I know a lot of you have heard this. If you've been living under a rock for the past week, you may not know about the Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle that Chef AJ has put together. I'm a contributor. Elspeth is a contributor. It's awesome. It's $49. Over 120 items from plant-based doctors, published cookbook authors, bloggers, exercise experts, coaches, so many things. There's even a yoga teacher training in there. It's crazy. So it's like if you bought each thing separately at what they are normally priced, it's like $6,000. My contribution is $140. So you only need a couple of things to really make it worth your while. And now I'm going to let our guest introduce herself, tell us what she's going to make, and talk about what she has in the bundle.
Thank you, Kathy. What a nice welcome. My name is Elspeth Feldman. I'm also known as the Speedy Vegan, but not because I run fast, it's because I cook fast. So I have a website called thespeedyvegan.com. I'm also on Instagram, The Speedy Vegan, and Facebook, and all the places, The Speedy Vegan. And I focus my cooking on sugar, oil, salt-free meals that are beautiful. I like to turn common, everyday foods into something a little pretty, a little fun. I like to play with my food and use a lot of color, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and with a heavy focus on vegetables. And I've been sort of a follower of many of the vegan doctors and plant-based people, including Kathy, for many years, and have learned a lot from her. So it's a thrill to be here today. And today I'm going to talk about my contribution to the Ultimate Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle, which is absolutely fabulous, as Kathy mentioned. It's only $49 for well over $6,000 worth of content. So there's a little something for everyone, and I'm thrilled to be just a little part of it. And my contribution to the bundle is a series of cooking classes. It's a 2-part Costa Rican vegan-inspired cooking classes. So 2 classes, each class is about an hour and a half, and then all the recipes that go along with the classes. And it's a little more than just a cooking class. I do the classes with my daughter, so I'm cooking here in my kitchen in Maryland, and my daughter is in her home in Boston. So in between recipes, I change over the set for the next recipe, and the camera goes to my daughter, and she does a little PowerPoint presentation and discusses some of the ingredients that are in the dishes that I'm making, as well as a little bit of a travel log about Costa Rica. My family and I have visited Costa Rica many times, and so if you're interested in Costa Rica at all, this would be a nice little course to take, a mini course to take. So
It sounds lovely, and I love the idea that I just am a hot mess when I'm teaching my classes. So I'm just doing it all in front of everybody. Everybody sees the behind the scenes if they want to or not. But having your daughter do this PowerPoint and educate people on the ingredients, I think that's amazing. So that's a real bonus. And one of the things I'd like to point out, because I have recorded courses in there as well, is one of the benefits of that is if you don't have a lot of energy that day, you can watch part of the course, one recipe, make along with you, right? Because sometimes we think, oh, we watched this course, then later on we're going to make it from the paper recipes or the PDF recipe. Paper. Look at me showing my age. Right? And so the thing is you can cook along. And it's so special. You really feel kind of like you're getting a private lesson. And I don't know a lot about Costa Rican food, so I can't wait for you to show us and tell us more tonight.
Yeah. So the recipes in the book are, I mean, Costa Rican food, typical Costa Rican food would be like a tico platter, they call it, or casado. And it includes rice and beans, which is galapinto. A direct translation means speckled rooster. It's a strange dish, but it's just basically rice and beans. But that appears a lot on dishes. Pico de gallo, guacamole, baked plantains, all those kind of things. And usually sometimes there is fish or meat or something like that. But it's such an easy dish to veganize. So everywhere you go in Costa Rica, you can order the vegan casado, and you're going to be just fine. That is the most typical of Costa Rican dishes. So a lot of the recipes that are in my ebook are Costa Rican takes on a lot of recipes that we've eaten, a lot of dishes we've eaten at restaurants in Costa Rica. So, for instance, tonight I'm going to be showing you how I cook and assemble my vegan poke bowl. So it's a Costa Rican inspired vegan poke bowl, but it's not even a bowl. It's a vegan poke. I'll show you what I mean. It's a stand-up poke. So more on that in just a moment. So I can dive right in now, or we can chat more about the bundle. What do you want to do, Kathy?
Well, do you have any favorite things that are in the bundle right now? One of the things I'm really loving is Chef Julia's Japanese cookbook, because I do love Japanese food a lot. And while I make sushi and some other things, it's nice to be able to learn some vegan versions of those traditional dishes that she grew up with.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one that I've earmarked. I've already downloaded that to my iPad, so I have that on hand. And that's what I'm doing with the bundle. You get over 120 different courses and ebooks and things, but you don't have to download every single thing at once. So I'm just going through and just finding ones that I want this week and putting them on my iPad. And I'll have a whole year to go through and just, sort things out. And some I might not be interested in at all. But definitely interested in Chef Julia's because I love Japanese food too. I've made one of her salad dressings. I forget which. I think it's just called Asian salad. So that's the dressing that I've made already of hers. And I'm going to try her method of doing tofu. And so Chef Julia's is great. Chef AJ's vegetable book looks beautiful. The photographs are so enticing. I don't know if I'm going to cook anything, but I'm just going to look at those beautiful photographs. There's Tammy, Chef Tammy from Not Make Notebook has the batch cooking, which will be interesting and really useful for people who are just starting out. And I've sort of recently started working full time, so I'm doing a lot more sort of batch prepping to try and have things organized for me. So I'll get some more tips from Tammy, which will be great. But it's not all about food and cooking. There are a lot of movement and exercise, and I'm very interested in the yoga training that's in the bundle. And Chef Colin and Jacqueline, his wife Jacqueline, have a little mini course. He's a chef and has a bunch of recipes, and she has a movement, about a 25-minute movement class in there. So lots of things to tap into. I'm just thrilled to be part of the bundle because I'm in really good company, so it's fun.
It's really exciting, and one of the things too, again, if you're kind of new, if you're not, I'm sorry you're hearing this for like the 80th time, but if you just find a couple of things that work for you right now, that's great. Don't overload yourself. Don't try to go, okay, for 123 days, I'm going to do one of these things every day because you're going to burn out. That's not going to help support you. Pick a couple of things now. If you just absorb them and you're ready for the next two, go for the next two and kind of keep going like that. Maybe you'll be done with it all in 120 days. But maybe some things like, I don't have children, so the parenting stuff isn't for me. But there's way more. It's okay. Everything isn't going to be for you. Don't overwhelm yourself. And remember, I'm looking at this too. It's like, I get the 2 or 3 things I know I want to use right now, maybe in 6 months, or it'll be summer, right? So I don't eat raw in the winter. but I sure do eat raw in the summer because I want more salads. I eat a lot of chilled soups and things like that. So I will probably dive into the raw food recipes and ebooks at that point. And a year from now, maybe you don't want to do the teacher training now, but maybe you're like, I'd like to up my yoga game. Oh, wait, I have this free class that I can start working on. And also,
or 5 years from now. It doesn't, you have a year to download it, but you have it for the rest of your life.
absolutely. It's just, it's really incredible. I just don't want people to overwhelm yourself. And the only thing is, within a year, you have to sign up for the courses or download the books. But I just make a folder, and actually someone else was making a YouTube playlist of all of the bundle stuff, because I've been calling this like vegan Christmas, because we all get together. It's very tiring and happy at the same time, and that way you really can look for these other communities and these great recipe developers like Elspeth and really expand what your normal repertoire is. So there you go. Now I'm going to get out of here and put it back to you.
Okay. Well, I will go ahead and show you one of the recipes from my contribution to the bundle, the Costa Rican vegan inspired cooking classes. So this vegan poke is going to be fun, it's going to be beautiful, and it's Friday night. So this is going to be my dinner tonight with my husband, so we're excited. This is a very pretty dish. You can make it for dinner parties. It looks kind of complicated, but when you watch me and follow me and then you make it yourself, you'll realize it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad at all. So first up, what I'm going to do, I have already, there's a bunch of different parts to this recipe, and then I'm going to assemble it all together. So in poke bowls, you typically have tuna. So as vegans, we don't eat tuna. And so I have in the book, I have a recipe for my watermelon ahi tuna, and it is remarkably like tuna. It looks like tuna, it tastes like tuna, and it feels like tuna. So definitely look at that recipe when you get the bundle. And so we have two options for this poke bowl. One is the ahi tuna, or the watermelon tuna, and the other is a mushroom tofu mix. So tonight we're going to do the mushroom tofu mix as the topping instead of the tuna, but both of the recipes are there. So I have a pot over here, and I've got some green vegetables that I'm going to just get steaming right now, and then I'm going to bring some of the other components of the recipe. So I don't want to overdo the vegetables. I have a bunch of broccoli, so I'm just going to take the lid off my pot here. The water's already started to get hot. I've got a bunch of little broccoli florets that I'm going to pop into my steamer basket. I've also got some little asparagus spears. So these are just cut on a diagonal. I'm going to pop those in. And I have some sugar snap peas, which I need a knife for. I need to cut on the diagonal. So the sugar snap peas, I'm just going to sort of cut on the diagonal about midway so that I can get them steamed. So you want kind of bite-sized pieces. So cutting the sugar snap peas in half is great. So I'm going to pop these in here. Get them ready to start steaming. I'm not going to start steaming them just yet because I want to get ahead. I don't know where we're going to be at with the rest of the ingredients. I did go ahead and cook the sushi rice in advance. So I'm going to grab that from my Instant Pot. And Kathy, I have a question for you on that.
Okay.
I cook many things well, but I'm not a good rice cooker at all. So I rely on my Instant Pot to cook rice all the time because I tend to walk away from the stove and things boil over, and I'm a mess.
You and
with rice.
me both. You're braver than me because I'm queen of overcooking broccoli because I don't pay attention. Just so you know.
Okay, so rice is not my thing. So I go ahead and use the Instant Pot. Do you have a favorite rice cooker?
The one I use right now, it's a Vita Clay. So it actually has a clay interior, and they sent me one a while ago, and I'm so sorry. Max is just not stopping, you guys.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, he's just, you would think that I am like doing something horrible to him, but I am not. I promise. See both hands right here. Um, they sent me one a long time ago, and we didn't use it for a while. And I pulled it out over COVID, and it makes the best rice. In fact, I have some rice cooking in there for dinner because we're making like pinto bean bowls, like Mexican bowls, and it has a brown rice setting and a white rice setting.
Oh,
But
perfect.
yeah, but there's no shame in doing it in the Instant Pot at all. I think it makes beautiful rice there too.
Yeah, I mean, it came out great. It's just fluffy, and this is just the sushi rice, so it's nice and sticky. And I have a little rice wine vinegar with it. And to give it a little Costa Rican flair, I'm going to add some unsweetened shredded coconut. So,
Ooh, that sounds good. So you're using a short grain white rice, like a regular sushi rice?
sushi rice. Yeah,
Okay.
the sushi. Yeah, very, not the regular, not the regular white rice. It's sushi rice, so it's sticky, much stickier. So the coconut just gives it a little bit of a tropical flair, and I'm just tossing that in with the rice. So I've got that. The other part of the recipe is the tofu mushroom. So chunks of tofu, chunks of mushroom that I've marinated in well, you could use tamari if you're not too worried about salt, or you could use Bragg's aminos or coconut aminos. So I just use coconut aminos. It's lower in salt, but use whatever you like. If you want to use tamari or soy sauce, you can do that too. Just marinate it in this and then put it on a roasting pan. I've already got some in the oven here that I'm going to grab in a moment that I've already cooked. I'm now going to turn on my steamed vegetables here because we're about a few minutes away from I want them to be nice and crisp and green. So between us, Kathy, we're going to remember the vegetables, okay? We're not going to do
It's my kryptonite, but I will do my best. And it's so funny. I didn't see your husband sneak in. So literally I was like, am I having a stroke? Because I felt like the whole monitor was shaking for me. But that's how long a day it's been. But it was beautiful. We could see the tofu really well, by the way.
Okay. All right. So now I've got my plates. I'm going to do black plates. I have some white plates over here, but I think it's going to show up better on the black plates because this is going to be nice and colorful. So I use a springform pan. This is just like a little tart pan for making my little mold for the rice. And I'm just going to spoon some of the rice into the springform pan. It's lovely and sticky and hearty. And this isn't a hot dish, it isn't a cold dish. It's just a dish, so you don't worry about, everything's not going to be hot when it comes to the table. It can be room temperature. And in the summertime, we have it cold, so don't worry about it. And then I just use the back of the spoon and I push it down into the pan just to sort of get this rice to stick together. And then you can do one of two methods. You can turn your plate upside down over the top of the rice and then flip it over. And I'm going to... Are you seeing this part of the board here, Kathy?
Yes. I can see it really well. Oh, that's a great idea.
Releasing that, and then I've got my little rice thing there, and I'm going to do it again on this plate, if I can get my base put back into my pan.
That is the hardest thing about those springform pans, isn't it? It's kind of funny.
I know. I think I got it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pop the rice into this one too. And you can put as much rice or as little rice as you want. This one might be my husband's. I have a little bit more rice in his. And I'm just pushing it down, getting it all to stick together. And I'm going to make sure my plate is a little bit clean. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, upside down, and then flip it over and release the spring foam. There you go. And you can just pop that off. So now I've got my base for my pretty little bowl here. Other parts of this recipe include a quick pickled onion or a quick pickled cabbage. So I use the purple cabbage, and I love my OXO mandolin. It's just my absolute favorite, and I use this to shred cabbage and onion, and then I pop it in jars. So usually I have red onion, which is much prettier than white onion, but I didn't have any red onion. So anyway, we've got purple cabbage and I've got red onion. I did these quick pickles last night. So all it is the purple cabbage in this one and onion in this one, and I've squeezed lime juice over it. And you could add all sorts of things to it. You can put some salt-free seasoning, you can put some, pickling spices, you can do whatever you want, or you can make it as plain as I did, just the lime juice, a little bit of salt-free seasoning. So that's going to add a nice little pop of color. I've got to check on my vegetables, Kathy. Oh, they're bright and green. I think we got them.
Yay!
I got that now. Okay.
I'm going to call you the next time I'm steaming broccoli, so you can be like, get it together, Kathy.
Get it together, Kathy. All right. So we've got this going on. I have two different things that I put around the base of the rice to make it look pretty. I can do avocado and I can do mango. So I'll probably do one of each. I'm going to grab my tofu out of the oven now so that we remember to use that in the recipe, because I've made this dish a few times and forgotten things in the oven. So just here out in front of us, I'm going to remember to put it on.
You're not alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone, right? Yeah. So now I'm at the part where I'm going to do the avocado and the mango and get this looking pretty. So here we go. So I'm going to cut into my mango and pray that it's a good one, because I only have one. I'm sorry, this is an avocado, not a mango. Pray that it's a good one, because I only have one avocado in my house. So drum roll, please. Don't be brown. It's beautiful.
Yay!
I always celebrate a good avocado. It's just one of my things. Okay, so I've got my avocado, and then I'm just going to take a knife and just slice very thin slices into the avocado. I could either scoop out the whole avocado and do the slices on my chopping board, or I can slice it in the avocado, which I prefer to do. I mean, yeah, this way is better. And then I'm going to take a spoon and scoop out the avocado onto my board. And I'm going to take slices of the avocado and just go around the edge of my rice. So I'm just going to put a slice of avocado, and then I'm going to layer the next one.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
And here we go. We're just going to keep overlapping all the way around. And you want the slices to be thin so that they bend. And we'll just keep overlapping. And as I say, this is going to be a kind of fancy, fun-looking Friday night food. So on my Instagram stories, I had all sort of Friday night music along with my promos for this class tonight, for this presentation tonight. So here we go. I've got my avocado around here, and the little chunks of avocado that are left over, I'm going to just slice into chunks, and I'm going to put them on top of the rice over here, because this one's going to have mango going around it and a little bit of avocado on top. And we'll do the opposite with the avocado one. We're going to end up putting mango on top. So I'll do the same with the mango. You get the most delicious mangoes in Costa Rica. And the mango, some mangoes you can scoop them out like an avocado, but this one's got kind of a tougher skin. The little El Tufo mango, the champagne mangoes are really easy to spoon with, but this brand, this one is a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to slice it.
Apple says she loves this yin-yang presentation. You always make the most beautiful food. We come in and we already feel the elegance of the evening with your big flower arrangements.
Well, I'm lucky to be married to a man who loves flowers as much as I do. So if we don't have flowers, he always wants to know what's going on with the flowers. So okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. These I probably should have sliced them a little bit thinner, but I'm going to get going with the mango. And now you'll see why I chose black plates, because
Yes.
that pop of color is going to look really pretty. And we just go all the way around. And the thinner you go, the prettier it's going to look. So I could have gone thinner on these.
Well, let me assure you that we think it's pretty fancy. And Dee says, I just throw mine on the top. So we're all pretty impressed with you already.
Okay, all right. So now we've got our little mango circle around the rice here. And then the little extra chunks over here, I'm going to put these chunks on top of the one with the avocado. So I'll bring this one over in just a moment so you can see it all. So mango on top of avocado, avocado on top of mango. And I'm going to just wipe my board here so that I don't get the bottom of my plate all sticky. Okay, so here we go. Got our two things. And then I'm just going to be piling on here. So first off, I've got my tofu and mushroom mixture. And again, you can do this with the ahi tuna recipe or the ahi watermelon recipe. And in my Costa Rican cooking class, that's part of this bundle, you know, when my daughter does a little bit of the sort of facts and things about their ingredients, she goes into, you know, why we don't eat fish as vegans and a whole lot about the oceans and, you know, a lot of facts from Seaspiracy and things if you haven't seen that documentary. Okay, so I've got the tofu mushroom, and now I'm going to start adding a few of the green vegetables. So I've got a little bit of broccoli florets, and now you're starting to hear my dog barking. So here we go, broccoli. I've got a few of the asparagus. So asparagus is nice. It's going to stand up a little taller, and asparagus just looks fancy. You don't have to do anything to it. It looks fancy. So I'm going to have a couple of my little asparagus spears on this one. Get the pretty side facing up, and then my sugar snap peas. And you want to try and make sure that you blanch or steam the vegetables really quick, so you don't want them to lose color, because we've got these ones just perfect, nice and bright. So we've got that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of color with the purple cabbage, the purple pickled cabbage. And so it's just a matter of, you can have a lot of these components of this recipe already made in advance, like I did, and then you can just put it together. Kind of a nice thing to put together for guests if you're making something a little fancy, because you can assemble everything, and people can make their own poke bowls. You can also take some of the onion, the pickled onion. So this is just a quick pickled onion. You can put a little of that on top. Actually, it's not so bad in white. I was going to add a little sprinkle of coconut on top, which I can do. Let's see if I can bring this over. I've got all these little bowls of all my garnishes here.
I love that, because it would make a great dinner party, because you could probably do the rice on the plates and probably use the mango slices, and you could even do it like earlier in the day, right, in the morning, and then just have all these ingredients on the table for your guests to put on.
Right. Yeah, not the avocado, but that you would want to do closer to it. But you know, definitely the mango. So a few little sprinkles of coconut if you want, or these are unsweetened coconut chips, just to give it that tropical flavor again. And then on a white plate, I usually use black sesame seeds, and on black plates, I use the white sesame seeds. So this is going to give it that nice sesame flavor. So I'll just sprinkle that on, and you're sort of garnishing the dish and the plate, because when you eat it, it's all going to collapse anyway. So you're going to be getting a bunch of the flavors. I will go ahead and put some black sesame seeds on too, because they are really pretty against the avocado and the mango. So we've got those going on.
And Apple says, beautiful colors, heart eye emoji for you.
Yeah, that's so nice. So I'm going to put some green onions on top as well. I mean, scatter those around and on top. I love green onions, scallions, whatever you call them. Those will give a nice little flair. And finish it off with a little bit of nori. So this is just seaweed that I have, and this will give it that nice sort of fishy sea flavor. So I'm just going to thinly slice little ribbons of this to go on top, just a couple. And again, it kind of looks a little fancy, but it's just a pair of scissors. You know, it's like if you can cut a piece of paper, you can cut a piece of nori. So kitchen scissors. And I'm going to just move those around because they look too planned. And there you have, I don't know what you're seeing. Guide my eye, Kathy.
Oh, I'm seeing both of them, and they're beautiful. You're like right in the middle of the middle. It's perfect.
Yeah. So
I
these
love
are my.
the way it's piled up too. The height looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'll give you a little twirl of this one, and a twirl of that one. You can see I should have cut the mango slices a little bit thinner, and then I would have been able to bend them. With the champagne mangoes, or maybe a more ripe mango, I could have bent it around a little bit more. So that is the Costa Rican inspired vegan poke. So that's what my husband and I are having for dinner tonight. And then for dessert, I'm going to show you what we're going to have for dessert. It's another recipe from the Costa Rican class. Grab it from here. I was on Chef AJ on Saturday, and I made a couple of recipes from my Costa Rican class. One was the surf's up kale salad, which is really delicious, and I made my Coco Loco mocha tart. So that was the other dessert recipe that I did, and that's beautiful. But last night I made my vegan flan. So I'm going to show you what the vegan flan is. So the recipe is in the Costa Rican cooking class, and it's a ginger flan, or you can make a coconut flan. But flan, as you know, is typically made with like condensed milk or coconut milk, things like that. And I like to keep it lower fat, and obviously I'm not going to use traditional condensed milk. So I make it a veganized version. And as I say, the recipe is in the book, but I'll show you what it turns out like. I'm just going to grab a little plate or two to... Sorry, my dog loves his toys. Can you hear that squeak?
It's lovely. Actually, it's making me smile so big. The camera's just on you, so I'm just over here enjoying it because there's nothing like a happy dog loving his squeaky toy, really.
He's the biggest baby, and he really does love his toys. He's just the first dog we've had that's just enthralled with his toys. We thought he'd grow up and grow out of it, but he just gets more and more attached to them. It's very cute. So I went ahead and made all these flans, and I'm going to drum roll, hopefully get a couple of them on the plates really pretty. So I run my knife around the edge. I'm doing a lot of turning plates upside down and flipping tonight, Kathy.
Well, we better be learning and paying attention. Tomorrow there will be the test, okay?
It will be the test. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes you have to release the suction a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Flipping over, and let's see if it's going to come. This kind of ramekin maybe is not going to be. I'm going to go with the other style. I just grabbed that style. I have to make this. Okay, so I've got it. It's completely loosened. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to flip.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
Absolutely gorgeous.
And I just sort of drizzle the, this is like a date syrup around it, just to make it go. And I'm going to get that other one out. And I have some coconut chips that I'm going to garnish the top of this with. You don't have to at all. I use ginger in the flan, and then I can garnish it. Let's see, is this one coming out? Come on. I'm determined, Kathy. Here we go. I'm
You're
going
a
in,
better
Kathy.
woman than I. I'd be like, I'll fish this out. Like, oh, look at you.
Go. All right, I have others. Not this one's not going to be as pretty, but there you go. I can just get the
So there's
sauce to
one
go.
thing I say is like, so if I came to your house and I saw someone go, oh, that flan isn't as pretty as mine, or oh, I wish you had sliced the mango thinner, I'd be like, you need to leave right now. Because I'm like, if people don't appreciate your food, they do not need to be at your house. You did a lot of gorgeous work, and I can tell you right now, if you showed up at my door,
Yeah.
I would be the happiest girl ever. And as soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna download your cookbook because I've got to make these flans this weekend. I have
They are
to.
so good. It's like having beans for dessert. It's so good. You'll see. You'll see the recipe. It's really good. It's just you can't believe how easy it is. And so this is going to be our wonderful dinner. My cameraman is working hard back there. He gets get fed, and I'm thrilled about having this on a Friday night. It's just kind of Friday night fun food. Get the weekend going.
Yeah, it looks amazing. You've done an amazing job, and many thanks to the cameraman who who I spoke to earlier, and I didn't know who he was, so I apologize. It's just because you were a strange man to me.
Crank calling you. And so anyway, all these recipes are from my Costa Rican cooking class. I have several other cooking classes on my website at thespeedyvegan.com. You can see them all there. I think my homepage right now is all about the bundle, but you'll see there's a little menu. There's other things in my website, bunch of free recipes. There's cooking classes that I've done that you can get you can buy the recordings and the classes. There's a fabulous vegan Valentine's Day menu that I think is just absolutely wonderful. It's a grilled portobello steak, onion rings, fries, a beautiful salad, and vegan chocolate souffle. That is the perfect vegan Valentine's Day menu. That's on my website, and there's a French cooking class, an Indian, a Thai, all sorts of different classes. So if you're interested in other classes from me, go there. If you want the Costa Rican cooking classes, buy the bundle because the Costa Rican cooking class series is $39 on my website. But for $49, you can get my class and all the other 120 offerings as part of the bundle. So definitely check that out. And yeah, so follow me on Instagram. That's where I probably am the most active. I like Instagram because you just put up pretty pictures and write a little bit of thing and keep going. I feel like with Facebook, you have to engage a whole lot more, and I just don't have as much time. So yeah, so this is fun. So thank you, Kathy, for having me on. And thank you to everyone watching now and later. And this is it.
It's amazing. You're always amazing. You are always so. Your food is just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous.
Oh,
So you should be on Instagram. And I was laughing because you could see me. They couldn't when you said portobello mushroom because that Cheryl just came in. My wife just came in because tomorrow I'm teaching a vegan steak class.
oh,
So we're gonna
okay.
do portobellos and we're gonna do like cabbage steaks. We might do cauliflower steaks and some different things. So it's like great minds think alike. I'm doing like I haven't decided exactly what kind of stuffed twice baked potato, but we're gonna do something like that in a wedge salad with vegan blue cheese.
Good. That sounds great. I taught a class on Tuesday night that was a cauliflower steak. It was a crispy braided cauliflower steak over a pea puree. It also looked really pretty as well. So, yeah, so it's a steak week. But it's nice to have it, if you are cooking for Valentine's Day, it's nice to have a few little pretty recipes. So,
It's very true. And so um, Dee is asking, so how do you keep a bundle buy on your phone? So you should be able to download and save the PDFs to like one of your apps, depending on what kind of phone you have. If you want to email me, I will see if I can find out in the group and tell you specifically. So you can email me at kathyhester@gmail.com. Put in like question about the bundle to make sure that I get to it. I'm like 2,000 emails behind right now from the week, but I'm pretty
so
sure.
Dee, I was going to tell Dee, so how I've done it is I
Okay.
have it on phone. So I have saved things to Google Drive. So every time I want something from my Google Drive, I just go on my phone, find the recipe book in the bundle, and there it is. The ones that I've wanted to save, I've saved to my Books app. So if you have an iPhone, you can download it and save it to, and there's an option, save it to, and you can save it to your Books app. So I have a library of recipe books because I do everything digital. So I love it because when I go to the grocery store and I want to look up an ingredient for a recipe, I can go, oh, I don't have to call my husband and say, can you climb on that chair and get the book at the top? No, not that one, the one next to it, page 300. I have all the recipes on my phone, so I can just, so just download it. You can put it on your Books app, and of course you can do it on Google Drive or Dropbox or all the things.
And Dee, so like if you don't already have a Google account, Google Drive account, or a Dropbox account, they are free ones. So you're going to want to sign up for that. And if you have a computer, it might be a little easier to go on your computer to save everything to it, but you can do that on your phone too. But thank you so much for giving those detailed instructions. I'm still a big computer gal, I have to say that. Well, everyone's just raving about your beautiful presentation, how awesome everything was, and thank you so much. I'm going to see what Max really needs and the pup, and let you have your beautiful dinner, and try not to be too incredibly jealous, but I'm going to be making your flan this weekend, so I can't wait.
Oh, great. Well, I'm going to grab a spoon, grab a book, and tuck in, but thank you so much for having me, and lovely to be here with you.
Okay, bye guys. I'll talk to you real soon.